What's up guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be walking through a week of my workouts from last week. I just finished a 10K race, but now I am training for a half marathon, which is in 2 weeks time. On top of running, I am doing some CrossFit and some strength and a lot of mobility, just because as a runner you got to work on all those things. This week is a little bit of an outlier. I usually have a good routine and a good balance when it comes to strength training and running, but because I had a race on Sunday, this week is a little bit on the lighter end, but it did pick up on Sunday during my long run. I ran, I think, four times. I went to CrossFit once just to get the body moving, and then I did some post-run strength and mobility, so you'll see that. So without further ado, let's get started.
So on Tuesdays I usually have an easy effort run, but before getting into it, I make sure to do some pre-run activation exercises. Now that I'm getting older and lazier, it's important to activate the right parts of the body that need to move. Here I'm taking a really light band and putting it around my thighs, and I go on to do 10 glute bridges, then 5 single leg marches on each side, and I really try hard to keep those hips in place without swaying side to side. After, I move on to activating the core, and here I'm doing alternating dead bugs, trying to keep my back as neutral as possible, and really trying to activate those transverse abdominal muscles, and I do 5 on each side. And the purpose of this is to activate the muscles, not to overwork them, so I keep the reps to a minimum, but making sure I'm very intentional with each movement. After that, it's out the door and we're enjoying the rain with a nice and easy effort 30-minute run.
I am back from my run. I just did 30 minutes just to get the legs moving, as I am still recovering from my 10K race. The legs are actually okay. It is just so wet outside. Because it was a time-based run, I didn't run too far. Garmin says I ran 4.73 kilometers at a 6:21 pace. So that's typically my easy pace. And then always, well, at least I try to stay on top of it, and I have to work on my post-run mobility. So just getting my physio exercises done. Oh my God, I'm so dehydrated because my lips are just so dry. And because I'm so wet, I'm going to take a shower and then I'll do some of my post-run mobility.
So my post-run mobility ended up being a strength routine, but I kept it light and I stuck to body weight exercises. And this is the basic strength routine I like to do after a run, which typically takes less than 10 minutes. So I'm going back to glute bridges because my ass is the laziest muscle ever, and here I'm focusing on single leg glute bridges because as runners, we're always on alternating legs, so it's super important to work on each leg individually. I did 10 on each side, then moving on to some front planks for about 30 seconds, and then grabbing a heavier band and putting it around my feet right by the ankles and do some side shuffles, and this is meant to help strengthen my glutes. Next, it's on to bird dogs with 10 reps on each side, and then 10 single leg RDLs on the left and right side. I love this exercise in particular because it really makes you work on that balance. After that, it was straight into push-ups, which I aimed for 10, but I really only did 6 because it's so hard, and then I went on to 5 Supermans, then 10 lunges with a twist on both the left and right side, finishing off with 10 bodyweight squats.
It's Wednesday and today we've got a speed workout. I am going to be working on my half marathon pacing today just to see where my pacing is at after my 10K race. It isn't meant to be a super hard workout today. It's really just to get the legs moving a little bit faster. The shoes that I'm going to be wearing are the Saucony Kinvaras, and this is last year's model. I decided to wear the older one today just because I felt like it, and because it's super bright out. I'm going to be wearing a hat to protect the face from the sun. I also did pre-run activation exercises, which are the same ones I did yesterday before that run, so don't forget to do those before your runs. And yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm back from my speed workout. I got my protein shake, which is Fruity Pebbles, super delicious. I'm actually really happy with how the speed workout went today. I had to do 3 sets of 3 by 3 by 3, which was 3 minutes at slower than half marathon pace, and then 3 minutes at half pace, and then 3 minutes 15 seconds faster than half pace. First, I was having a hard time dialing into the half marathon paces, but after some time I got used to it, and then I finished pretty strong, so I'm happy with the splits. I did get progressively faster, which is always great. There was no pain, which is good. I could tell I could have probably activated a little bit more on the left glute because it is weaker and lazier, but other than that, it was really good. A solid run. I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna finish this protein shake and then do some post-run strength stuff. Nothing too crazy, probably just some upper body stuff and then the left glute.
So I'm really trying to work on my upper body this time around because it doesn't even have half the strength of my lower body. So I decided to do some push-ups. I aimed for 3 sets of 8, but of course I struggled and switched to doing modified push-ups from the knees. Then I grabbed my fiance's barbell and did 2 sets of 10 barbell rows. Next, I went on to doing 2 sets of 10 front squats, making sure I kept my back straight and upright. Then finishing off with some stretches like the cat-cow stretch.
Today is a very light day. It is a cross-train day, so there's no running on the agenda. I did CrossFit this morning and we worked on our Olympic lifting technique. We did snatches for Oli lifting, and then for the Metcon, what did we do? We did an EMOM of 14 minutes. Every odd minute we did a max hollow hold. I had to scale that because I'm terrible at hollow holds. And then every even minute we did max dumbbell front rack lunges, and I scaled the weight since I am still training for a race. The RX version is 35 pounds. I ended up doing 20 pounds because I didn't want to ruin the legs. And then finished off with some accessory work with core stability, which was bird dogs. We did 3 sets of 12 reps total, so 6 and 6. And then later today I am going to do some very light aerobic work, so I'm going to go on the elliptical and then finish off with some plyo. Again, nothing too crazy, but really just to get my legs used to the explosive movements and prep for the race. I just finished my breakfast, having some coffee, gonna work a little bit, and then we'll go into the elliptical.
So my coach prescribed 45 to 60 minutes on the elliptical. Today I wanted to keep it super easy and short, so I kept it on the lower level of resistance and stuck to 45 minutes.
I was thinking of doing some plyo today, but I decided not to. My glutes are a bit sore. I did practice some explosive movements from snatches today, so I'm probably just gonna skip it because I don't want to overwork myself. The elliptical is enough and CrossFit was enough, so I think I'm gonna call it a day. I am back from my 7K easy run. Kind of went a little bit faster than my easy run, only because I was thinking about the half marathon coming up and I was getting too excited, and then I started to get faster, so I really had to peel back. I decided to practice on some hills, which was a little bit on the difficult end. I know I'm strong enough for those hills, but I just hate them for some reason. I think my average pace this time around was 6:05 per kilometer. And again, I went a little bit quicker, but my heart rate wasn't super high. Like, it was still kind of between zone 2 and 3, so it's not the worst. I don't really stress too much on the heart rate unless it's like zone 5, then I know there's a problem. I think I'm just gonna focus on stretching because I've been feeling like an old lady because yesterday was a rest day. So I didn't do much except sit on my ass, which is really bad. So yeah, I'm gonna try and just keep moving. Tomorrow is a big run. It's my longest run before the half, so I wanna make sure I execute that well. And yeah, see you tomorrow. I am back from my long run. I did 20K today. It is gonna be my longest run before the half marathon, which is actually coming up in 2 weeks. I was scheduled to do an 8K progression, which means starting at somewhat of an easy pace and then gradually picking up the pace. So I did 10K easy effort, and then the next 8K I had to progress to around half marathon effort to faster. It did get a little tough towards the end, but I managed to push through, and then ended with a 2K cool down. Legs are feeling it a little bit, so I'm gonna stay on top of some foam rolling. So that wraps up my week of workouts. I've got 2 more weeks left until my half marathon. I do vlog daily on TikTok and a little bit on Insta, so be sure to follow me on there. And if you haven't done so, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my later video. Bye!